Hey guys, welcome back to my garden from Carly at the Herbothecary. It's my first time, well, not my first time out in my garden in 2025, but it's new everything this year. Um, let's just say things have changed at the Herbothecary, and I might go from being a Mrs. to a Miss again. But on the upside, it does mean nobody tells me off for being in my garden. The poor thing has been neglected over the last few years. Mostly because I get told off for covering windowsills, or used to get told off for covering windowsills in seedlings and spending too much time out in the garden. But nobody gets to tell me off anymore. It's the 6th of March 2025, somewhere in between Chester and Liverpool, and it's 14 degrees outside. It's a little windy, but it's a lovely day. And despite being awfully neglected over the winter, everything is bursting into life. All my little fruit trees are budding. I am so proud of them. It's beautiful and sunny, and I figured on my day off, why not take the opportunity to have a quick look around my garden and show you guys, as it will be changing so much over the next few weeks. Yet so much has still lived over the winter, and the snow that we had in February, the equinox, still there. I'm not sure what the one in the corner is, but there's also a hydrangea and a foxglove in there that seem to be doing their thing quite happily, despite being covered in frost a few weeks ago. And we've even got a little nasturtium growing. That's a empress, scarlet empress, I think she's called. But wait, the flowers, the little buds anyways, they're just waiting to pop out. I am so excited. So my main purpose today is to give them a good feed with the seaweed fertilizer. My little man helped me make that after several days of soaking the seaweed that we were given by a friend, rinsing it multiple times to clear off any of the sea salt. We just topped it up with fresh rainwater, and that's been sat there, well, for since August. So that is perfect. Now I'm going to dilute that down. It is quite strong, so I will dilute it 1 part of the seaweed fertilizer to 10 parts of water, or one. Yeah, okay, that works. It doesn't matter. It's the first feed of the season, and I am also adding a slow release mixed fertilizer to that too. I have about 20 fruit trees and fruiting bushes, and I think they could do with a good feed. As I want so many beautiful fruits this year, we also decided that we were going to use an old sandbox as a paddling pool, and my daughter found some frog spawn. Yes, I know relocating them probably wasn't a good idea, but she desperately wants a pet, and I can't have any in the house now because of my allergies. Even gardening has become a pain, but they were so tiny before, and now they've swelled. We did get a bucket of pond water from a neighbor who has a pond and living bits in for them to feed off to make it a more hospitable place for them. But they've got so big. Their little jelly sacks have swelled so much since we got them, and they've definitely got bigger in there. So hopefully she'll have lots of froggy friends soon. Now, this doodad was something I've done a video on already, the hanging canvasy type grow things. I had issues with them growing out or drying out really quickly, and these, even though I watered them yesterday, already have. Even though this time I thought I'd try put the hydro beads in the bottom to retain moisture, doesn't seem to be working that well. I also decided to treat myself to one of these metal beds, raised beds of Timu, and that quickly turned into two and then three. And I also invested in a drip system, one of the solar powered ones, so that it would automatically feed them. I can't remember what the name of the method is, but in order to fill the beds in a cheaper manner, the process is using any organic material underneath, because it will break over time. And I did this back in January. I didn't intend to plant into these until now, and I figured that would give it at least enough time to break down. So that's anything I could find. Mostly it was kitchen waste, food products, any offcuts of veg, any old compost from plants from last year, the root systems and things like that, to give it, time to break down. And then there was at least 1 to 2 bags of proper potting compost put over the top of them. And I did put down a thick layer of moist cardboard on the grass first to suppress any weeds and that grass that is growing. Although, as it was still very cold, the grass wasn't growing very vigorously, and I don't think it will take much to suppress it. I also adopted different methods for the 3 different beds so I could try them out. I have the covers over the first bed because there's actually stuff planted in there already. We have some peas, we have some kale, we have some lettuce. We even have a few nasturtiums that are doing quite well. I have had the thermometer in this bed and the thermometer outside, and the temperature difference is underneath that cover is at least 8 degrees warmer. This one I just stuck the polycarbonate on top of it, and I'm so excited. I planted these about 2 weeks ago, and I have little peas popping up, and I even have tiny little coslettas. So I'm not sure, because in the other bed with the kale and the lettuce, I have planted carrots and lettuce in there as well, but they don't seem to be germinating yet. So unfortunately, because of the taller plants, I can't put the polycarbonate sheet over those. There's my solar drip system. It's set up to go over the strawberries and all the way along to feed those beds. But I still don't know how to set the timer. I've tried at least 1,000 times and I can't get it right. So if anybody knows how to set the timer on those solar things, please let me know. I would appreciate it so much. So I'm going to pop the cover back on and admire my beautiful blueberries. I can't believe that they're actually budding up so nicely. I know they like acidic soil, and apparently you can also use pine needles to acidify the soil. So I made a pine needle tea, and afterwards I just chucked the extra pine needles on there. Living mulch, that'll break down. And these are the carrots I planted in September, and they didn't really do much. They popped up, they didn't really do much, but now they've come back to life. I haven't decided what I want to plant in this bed yet, so I decided to pop the carrots on there. It's a much sunnier spot, and because they're in a raised bed in another raised part, it keeps them out of the reach of the awful carrot fly, which I did have problems with when I planted them direct. I also decided to amalgamate a biology, a woodcraft, and an art lesson all into one with my middle lady, and she built this beautiful bug house. Obviously it was one of those kits where all the bits come and you just have to screw it together, but I think she did a beautiful job. It adds a lovely bright pop to our garden. As always, we raid the boot sales and the charity shops for any cute sparkles for our garden just to add a little bit of extra color. Always cheers me up. I also have this glow in the dark building set that I'd got for the kids, a fort building set. And I was wondering if I could use those instead of the arches to put covers on this last bed. I don't know. I'm still going to try it. I've just got to find the rest of the pieces. I might have gone a little nuts on Temu as well, as they have some really, really cute garden bling. But I couldn't help myself. They love the signs and we love the colour in the garden. You see that side's still looking a bit worse for wear. And I'm not sure what that one is in the corner, but there is the hydrangea and the foxglove and all of our beautiful, beautiful garden bling. Although that squirrel light looks like he's seen better days, bless him. And oh, just all these pretty shiny things. I can't help it. I do absolutely love just the little pop of colour. My chard somehow is still growing. So is this kale and the three-cornered leek. And this kale over here I've been picking from all throughout winter. It just keeps giving me more. And we got a little artsy-fartsy with some faux flowers and made ourselves a beautiful garden wreath. I absolutely love it. In the house, of course, all my windowsills are absolutely full of seedlings doing their thing. I invested in a few different sets of grow lights this year. I'm not sure if they're actually doing anything. I'm not entirely sure I understand the whole lumens thing. This is a bok choy that I'm growing from a store-bought one. I also invested in one of those grow light systems that come with the humidity domes, and the grow light fits on the top. About 6 weeks ago, I started the black pansy seeds that I purchased. I really, really want more reds and blues and darker colors in my garden this year. And these looked absolutely gorgeous. I was so excited. So I purchased my seeds and I figured this grow light system, this humidity dome system was my best chance of success. I got the seeds from Flower Seeds UK, but it's 6 weeks later and they're really, really not doing anything. But then neither are my marigolds, which is quite unusual because I've never had trouble with marigolds. They normally, for me, have germinated 2 weeks max, but these ones don't seem to be doing anything. So it was a new seed packet as well, so I might just do a resowing of that because I have so many tomatoes to go out. So I've started loads of basil and, well, loads of marigolds. The basil's popped up, but the marigolds are yet to show their face, which is unusual. So I will be resowing those. Now, I've attempted bay tree cuttings at least a dozen times from my neighbor's tree, and I've failed miserably every time, but I neglected to put a bag over the top for humidity. This time I did, and it looks like I've got some new growth, some little baby leaves there, because I cut everything off, so maybe I've finally done it successfully. Literally everything is crossed. I hope I haven't jinxed myself. I really want a bay tree. I literally use this stuff in most of my cooking and I can't still keep stealing off my neighbor. I also, very excitingly, we grow ginger and we grow turmeric, and I've always wanted to grow galangal, but I've never been able to find the roots until last week, where I came across an Asian food shop on my way back from Morrison's. I didn't even know it was there. I don't go down that way. So I greedily grabbed every bag of galangal and ginger and turmeric and the lemongrass that he had, soaked them overnight, and then tried the paper bag and wet cloth method. I've always had success with lemongrass, growing it just in a cup of water. So I'm going to do that with that, and hopefully it'll start to root so I can plant it. But the lemongrass that I overwintered in the conservatory needs a good water and a good trim of all the dead material. It still has some life in it, so I'm not giving up on that one just yet. However, I don't have much faith in the marigolds, the black pansies, the echinacea that I started in the grow systems, but under my grow lights everything seems to be doing really well. We've got some of the excess strawberry plant, the cold hardy greens that I've started, my sweet peas and my peas, although I do need to address the lighting situation. Hope you guys have enjoyed my little walk around my crazy little garden. Truly is my happy place and I can't wait to spend more sunny days out there. Let us know what you guys are growing. If you like the video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again soon, out and covered in muck.